Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sophisticated Ignorance. I am Nieema Simone.
And I am Steven, and we got a special guest this week.
Yes, we have Kareem Baldwin here. I actually met him through my friends. He's my friend Margaret's cousin. We was at a Battle of the Sexes night, and he had a lot of good commentary for those questions we came up with.
I did, just, using my experiences in life, I guess I would say. So
Yeah, it was really...
I just use my experiences, and that's usually what I like to comment on, things that I've been through, so kind of more relatable, I guess.
And if you guys haven't been to a Battle of Sexes or a game night, I hope some of you have. We pretty much just ask the guys a question, and then the guys ask women questions, and then we answered it. And some of those topics got kind of heated, and it was funny. But me and him ended up having a conversation, and I told him about the podcast, and he said he wanted to come on. So hopefully this is not the last time we see him or have him on the show.
Yeah, we're trying to have more of an open door policy.
Yeah.
And letting people come through so they can feel like they're part of the show.
And he was very eager. So I literally met you like a week ago?
Last week.
Literally a week ago. It really was a week ago, and you're here.
Time.
So, just let us know. Send those letters and those emails. Hit us up on Instagram, DM. Steven's on Twitter. And just let us know. We love meeting you guys. So today, if you've been listening to the show for a long time.
I think
You excited already?
That's the thought pop. But we're talking about sex today.
Oh God, I know this would be the topic.
And how he knows you, and it's only been a week.
No. I was talking to my friends, like, what do you think the topic was? Like, it's probably gonna be like a sexual topic. So I guess
or some form of relationship. It's not that bad though. It won't make
it
sexual.
It's not gonna be raunchy. Like, ain't nobody gonna pull out a dildo or anything.
No. First of all, Steven wouldn't let me do that. First and foremost.
Too much dudes.
What do you mean? We got video now. I'm trying to get these clicks. If you want to pull out whatever toys you use, by all means. V, just make sure you zoom in on the item.
No, God, y'all annoying. But yes, we're gonna jump into this. So, at the Battle of Sexes night, sex came up a lot, and women, we have a lot of questions, and I feel like men had a lot more questions than I actually thought they did. Some of the things I was like, why y'all don't know that? We're like 29, 30 to 32. Like, why y'all have these questions?
Don't talk about sex amongst each other.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is really true.
They either self-educate themselves or they just fucking wing it. Like, when we had Mandy on the show, before we started recording, we was talking, and she was like, yo, a lot of our viewership is men, and she was shocked about that. I was like, one, because both of y'all are attractive women, and two, niggas don't talk to other niggas about sex. The most they do...
I find that weird.
Nah, the most they do is like, yo, I hit that. That's it.
Yes. And
really?
even that, I guess that's like, even now that I'm older, but like all my friends are based in relationships or in relationships, so you're not really talking about
like
things with your wife and your lady.
Yeah, like that's my shorty. Like,
boys,
you respect her.
Yeah,
so you don't want to. I don't want you to have that visual of whatever I do with my girl.
I mean, I get that because I don't think females do that. My female friends, we don't go that far. But I still find it weird that y'all don't
females are way more open about
stuff.
what they do in the bedroom with their significant other.
That's true.
Significant other or just in general?
Both.
In general, both. But he was kind of, because we were talking about significant others, that's why he said that. But I guess I would say both too.
Yeah, both too. Yeah, if a dude, like, yo, I hit that. Or she gave me some dome last night. That's it.
That's literally it.
Ain't no, like, we was in this position and she did this or nah.
Yeah, you know what the funny?
Like, I don't want to see my boy in that position. Like, I don't want to imagine you without no clothes on. I don't want to see none of that. Like, I'm good, bro. Yeah, you hit that.
I'm with that too.
Here's your pound.
Said that
good job.
Like, man, slow down. You don't really have to get into the details like that. Because plus we're all grown ass men, so to speak. So what are you really gonna tell me that you did that I probably didn't hear about or didn't do myself? So it's kind of like,
and then
what
a lot,
even
though this is not really spoken about, a lot of niggas is into shit that they may not want to be public knowledge.
It's 2017. Like, are you kidding me?
Still, it's like man
it's
code.
About love and acceptance.
It's like it's man code, yo. Like, if let's say I don't judge no dude who likes anal play.
Right. So
whatever you do in the privacy of your own home, that's on you. But there's a lot of dudes, they ain't gonna be talking about like, oh yeah, shorty ate my ass last night. Like, bro, like, we ate together. Like, I'm not like, I don't need
that's
to
when everybody start moving their glasses to the left. Like, don't put your glass next to his.
Yeah, like, remember that?
If he let Shorty do that, he probably did something
that Kevin Hart joke from years ago. He was joking on
Oh,
Shaq.
yes. Now I'm
Where
sitting there with the eat ass face.
Yeah, it's
That's
like,
still my favorite line right there.
yeah. So dudes don't really talk about sex to that.
Okay,
extent.
so what about when you guys are like teenagers, like 12 and like hitting puberty? Do
Well,
y'all
teenagers
talk
is
about
different,
anything?
yeah, because a lot of when you're a teenager, you're kind of adding extras on it. You're not
Yeah,
really
niggas
telling
is-
the whole
they
story.
tell
us,
yeah, it's all fabricated.
It's different for guys.
All
Yeah,
fabricated.
It's different for guys. It's just,
All
Fairy
fabricated.
tales and fantasies.
Niggas was
pretty much.
porn stars at 12
yes,
years
a
old.
little- yeah, definitely. You're doing all the positions.
And
you're
the
doing
only
everything.
vagina he seen was his mother's.
On his way out of it.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. So, I guess I'll just say, well, how do we really feel about sex in general?
I don't know. I guess from like my perspective, it's like something that should be like cherished, and it's a specific form of like intimacy. It's this form of expression that you can't really duplicate. Like, yeah, you could use words or you could do certain actions, but sex is a very specific thing that you cannot duplicate anywhere else, and it's definitely cherished. Like, if you are not able to express yourself in that facet well in a relationship, you're gonna have problems. Everything could be great, financially, mentally, spiritually, everything, but in that realm, if something is off, it's gonna just be a domino effect, and everything gonna be fucked up from there.
How about you?
I would say that sex now is more devalued. Like you were saying, sex is supposed to be cherished, but
Yeah.
now when we see it's kind of, sex is just sex. It doesn't
It's like a task
have
now.
the same meaning that I guess it used to have, even growing up or with your parents. Like now it's kind of like sex is sex. It's not something that really you put a price on. So I guess when you get in a relationship, that's when you would say, if you're with your girl,
Mhm.
the intimacy needs to be there. But a lot of men and women will have, a bunch of different people that they're sleeping with at the same time. So for them, what is sex is just something to do. It's not, you really wouldn't be doing that with multiple people if it was something that, you cherish so much. Because I know something that I would cherish, you would just want that between you and one other person.
Mhm.
This is regardless of sex. Even if you cherish a watch or your favorite shirt or whatever it
Right.
is, your favorite sneakers, something that you like, you wouldn't just let everyone else rock that. You may have some clothes that you may let people wear, but if you had something that you cherished or whatever it is, you would kind of keep that close
I think,
by.
to piggyback off of what you're saying, I think the weird aspect that we have now is like people try to grade like sexual acts. Like,
Yes.
I may eat my girlfriend's vagina, but if I'm having casual sex, I'm not gonna eat her vagina because that's not something I do with my casual partner. So
Okay.
people tend to grade like certain acts in terms of like that cherishing thing. Like, oh yeah, I just hit, but I ain't eat her pussy though. So niggas really evaluate shit like that. Like, he'll cheat on his girl and be like, yeah, I smashed, but I ain't let her give me no head or nothing
so
like
it
that.
wasn't
So
personal.
it wasn't
Oh
really
my
the same.
It wasn't
God.
personal. It wasn't
Yeah.
personal.
Niggas
Vixon,
really do that.
I've
Do
heard
that.
stories like that, of course.
So yeah, like, it's supposed to be cherished, but it's like this thing of like where like people try to grade sexual acts in terms of like, yeah, I did this, but I wouldn't do that, or I did this with this person, but I wouldn't let this person do this with me. So it's definitely in like a weird space in today's society.
So can we say that sex is more valued when you have a partner you actually care about?
Yes.
Because we just
Yes.
brought up casual sex.
Hmm.
So then can we say, how can I put this? But why can't we just be, not promiscuous, but why can't we just,
Be free spirited and open with
Uh,
whoever we
that's
choose
what,
to
that's
be.
the word that everybody likes to use, free-spirited.
But
sexually
you can, 'cause
uninhibited.
That's
Yeah,
happening
you
now,
can.
so we're
It
not,
all depends on the
we're not
person.
stopping it. It's just that
I just think that from a society standpoint, it's like you're gonna be free spirited with everybody. Like, okay, let's say there's a specific act that you're doing with one casual partner that's
Right.
also in the same mental space as you. I think once you start to do that with everybody that you're with, then society starts to look at you crazy, because it's like, okay, now you're just giving head to everybody.
Well, I'm not going to say that sex necessarily in that case isn't valuable. What if that's just something you like to do? Why do I have to put restrictions on how I have sex?
you don't. You
You
don't.
don't.
Because other men do.
But that's
No,
why I
that-
preface this by saying society. I didn't say there was anything right or wrong with it. It's just that society will start to look at you like, okay, you like giving oral, cool. But then it's like now you're giving the oral to everybody that you've been with, regardless if this was a one night stand, somebody you was dating, or somebody in a long term relationship. Society's gonna be like, oh, you just a thought out here, like you just blowing and moving.
So like what you said, if it's something that you really like to do, so if you really like, does that mean that you have to do it with a lot of people?
You
like
don't.
Certain people,
you don't. But that's the same as you just having regular generic sex with a lot of people. You still doing the same shit with other people as well.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But that's what I'm saying.
Differently.
People are grading shit differently. It's like, oh, you giving head to everybody, but if you was to sleep with everybody, it's okay.
Like you fucking raw, right?
Uh-oh.
But she's giving.
That's a different story.
No, but she's giving head.
Okay.
But that's something you do with a lot of people, and that's something that she may do with a lot of people. But because she's giving head, she's kind of like looked at as a bad person, or maybe you shouldn't be doing it. It's like, but it's the same fucking thing. It's the same thing.
See, I wouldn't look at her as a bad person.
Not a bad person, but you know, you got to put the quotation mark.
We're talking.
Yeah,
we're just talking from like a society perspective.
Because hey, if you're that type of girl, that's gonna attract certain energy, certain type of dudes. Now you're gonna attract with that type of energy that you give off. Not saying it's a good thing, bad thing, but you can't, put out that type of energy that sex, and then if certain dudes aren't really, trying to be with you like that. It's kind of like, oh well, yes, you don't like women, or you're slut shaming. Like, no, that's just not my style. That's just not a type of female that I would want to rock with. But if she wants to do that, hey, do your thing. I'm not the pussy police.
Because I don't want any women listening to this to feel any kind of way.
No, they shouldn't.
Nah, like I don't care. Whatever you do, that's all on you.
Right.
Like that.
Because it is a double standard.
It is a double standard, but that's life has double standards.
A lot of niggas think like that. Yeah, they do as how they move, and then when it comes to their female, the females they choose to deal with, it's a totally different spectrum. Not saying that's right, but unfortunately, that's the world we live in.
So we just said that sex is overvalued. So do we think that sex is undervalued? So do we think that it's overhyped as well?
100%.
Because you got a lot of young kids who are like 12 years old having sex. Because it's out there.
Yes.
So do you think we're doing a bad job at making it seem like this is just like something you need to do, and 100%. That's why that's why young kids are influenced and they want to do it.
Yeah,
so
because sex
young.
became profitable in America, so it's everywhere, in almost everything. And now because you have social media, you can see sexually suggestive things all the time. I remember a few years ago, nobody would talk about sex, and now I can't recall any female that doesn't post some sex-related thing on their Instagram or Tumblr or things of that nature. It's become fucking mainstream. I know chicks that's on Tumblr that are having premium Snapchats, making money off of shit like that. So if you're a young person and you see somebody caking in maybe $200-$300 a week or a day off of just showing off their body on social media, then it's like, okay, I could do that shit too. So it's definitely become overhyped because now it's not even something that used to be cherished. Now it's like, it's fucking an everyday thing.
See, my thing is, I can't be mad at the chicks that if you're gonna post your Instagram and you're gonna have, showing your body, at least get some money for it. So my thing is, if you're gonna do that, you're gonna have the premium snaps. I'd rather you do that than have your whole profile to public and you're not getting anything from it.
Right.
Because I think there's a difference in it. Because there's a difference between you're just like embracing yourself and your curves or your body or whatever, and then there's people like they're doing this to generate a level of profit.
Yes, and I would say I would rather.
And I'm not mad at either. Yeah. As long as if you're not generating a profit from it, like you're doing it in a tasteful manner. Like we've all seen like the chicks that trying to be popping and they taking certain provocative pictures and the shit looks stupid.
Yes.
Like the photographer just threw a glass of milk on your chest.
Ew.
And taking pictures.
Yeah, y'all gotta stop.
Like dumb shit like that is like, bro, what are you doing?
With the old C-section marks, like y'all gotta fucking chill, sis. We don't want to see that.
Yeah, so it's become like this thing that is just dangled out there. Like it doesn't hold no weight anymore.
We was talking about Bernice Burgos.
Why?
At work. We was talking about her at work. Are you familiar with her, right? Bernice Burgos?
Yeah, the Instagram.
Yeah, so
I guess chick, allegedly. Whatever.
Yeah, allegedly.
Nice
So they was like how she's just completely fucking boring and she has nothing really to ever say. And I'm like, well, she's getting money. So the girl was like, yeah, but you know, you shouldn't be flaunting yourself like that. She coming off as a hoe, this and this and that. I'm like, but she's making bread. I'm like, at the end of the day, she could be the most boring, unintelligent person in the world.
Paying,
but she used what she had to make some kind of profit. Now, I don't care how old she is. That's not
how old is she, by
she's
the way?
she's an older woman. She's late 30s, early 20s.
35, 36 maybe.
Okay. All right.
So they were saying how she's too old to still be doing that and yada yada yada.
Yo, as long as
I'm
the check's still
listen,
coming in.
the
It
checks
sounds like
is coming through.
It sounds like those women were just hating on
It,
her.
that's
based
what it
on
was.
that,
That's what
saying
it was.
that, you know, you're not gonna flaunt your body. You're gonna come off as a hoe, but that doesn't really make you a hoe, though.
Right.
That doesn't make you a hoe.
Because it's like she doesn't do anything but take pictures of her body. I'm like, but she's getting a check for that.
That's
like,
how she
it's
lives.
a way,
Yeah.
right? It's the way you market
You
yourself.
should respect that.
Right.
I put this picture on a free social media platform. Somebody slides in my private messaging inbox. Hey, you want to host this event for $5,000 or whatever? Just because I throw up this picture, that's genius.
You could pretty much say she's a brand ambassador for herself.
Of course she is.
Boom. Look at that. You just made up your own title.
That's not making up a title. That's a title.
No, for herself.
Oh,
she just made it up for herself.
Yeah,
like, now I'm a brand ambassador for my body.
Yeah.
Not for her body, but just for her brand, her name, how she looks. Like, she's an attractive woman.
Right.
So
Right.
even if she wasn't taking naked pictures and she was just taking selfies from the face up, people would still be able to see that she's an attractive woman. It's not, she just don't have body. She's attractive. So that's a little bit different than if she wasn't attractive and then she was showing her body. It would be a little bit different. But because I would say they would kind of call it a full package. Not just on her physical level, because I don't know her, never spoke to her. But she's attractive. She has a nice body. So I can see why that would work for her.
Well, what about the people who aren't pretty?
Well,
They're the ones that's getting milk thrown on them by the photographer.
I don't see, attractiveness, I guess, is just what you would think. But if you're, I would say you
can't even answer the question. Can you stumbling?
Because it's just so many different ways to. I wouldn't tell them not to do it because you know if it's working for you, it's working for you. And
yeah, but there are people that it's not working for.
Then that's
when they start to then that's the type of people that start to compromise their own integrity because then they start doing extra shit outside of it in order to garner attention or profit in some facet.
That's true.
So what about strippers? How do you see them being in the industry? Because you know it was the whole stripper versus bottle girl thing.
I mean, everybody gotta make their own check and make their money. So I ain't never gonna be mad at no chick that either is a bartender or a bottle girl or a stripper or whatever. If nobody's gonna give you that money and you're gonna go earn it, by all means, I ain't gonna be mad at it. I personally couldn't date somebody in that industry because I know what that industry requires in terms of constantly marketing and selling yourself to a certain extent and what kind of attention you get. I couldn't personally date somebody like that. But I know several people that work in that industry and I don't judge them at all. I mean, the only thing I would ever advise to them is like, look, you don't want to be the type of person that ends up doing this for like 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Because for every Bernice, there's 100 other girls that don't make it out the club. That
That's
still
true.
have to work there, post their 30s and whatnot. And like, I think this was like a joke on Family Guy. It was like the best thing about girls is like there's somebody turning 18 every day. So it's like, how long is your lifespan in that industry when there's going to be a prettier chick or a younger chick or somebody with an even more crazy body that's coming in? So the only thing I ever advise to them is like, look, this is what you're doing to make your money now, but at least figure out ways where you can expand outside of that so you don't have to always depend on it. But I'm never going to judge anybody that's in that industry at all.
Well, we have a lot of younger kids. I see it a lot on Instagram. You know, on the Explore page.
Fab follows all of them.
Does. Fabulous stepdaughter. She's absolutely beautiful.
Okay.
Talking about Emily's daughter?
Yeah.
She's gorgeous.
She's absolutely beautiful. She's like a very sweet girl. And she's like 19. So then I try to think about when I was 19, what I was doing.
Wait, is she a stripper? Is that what you guys
No.
saying?
No.
Oh, okay.
But she gives off this allure, kind of, that she's older.
Okay.
Yeah, if you wouldn't know who she was
You
and
would-
her age, you would have thought she was like in her early 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So she has a very mature vibe to her.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Very-
look,
I'm not
she
gonna
don't dress
say,
like a 18 or 19-year-old in our era.
Okay. Yes.
Well,
so,
we've mentioned this on the show before. None of the young girls dress like how girls used to dress back when we was in high school.
oh.
Everybody
definitely.
got weave. Everybody got expensive bags. Nobody carry book bags anymore. Like all these chicks is out here in expensive shoes and leggings and whatnot.
I'll say a strong 85%.
There's very few.
It's a strong 85%.
I would
of
say it's
girls,
even
so.
higher than that.
Maybe, I guess it depends on where you live and what you
Possibly.
see.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of girls who are still natural hair little girls, sneakers,
Yeah.
In high
t-shirts.
school?
Yes.
High
nice.
school, college. I see that all the time. So I think it depends on what you're looking at, where you live at, and who you associate with, who associates with them. Because a lot of things you see, I don't see. And it's not because I'm not in the know of things, just because I don't see it, because I just don't. Like, that's not in my peripheral. It's not anywhere around me, so I don't see a lot of shit.
Gotcha.
So speaking on younger girls, do you feel like because of the images that we have out there, Emily B is her mom,
Okay.
because of the images that we have out there, do you think that's influencing younger kids to want to not only have sex early, but want to get into the entertainment industry like that earlier?
Yep.
Of course.
Most
'Cause
definitely.
That's what.
Because that's what they equate to success. Like we don't have doctors or lawyers or people in other positions that's high profile. Everybody that we consider important or relevant or people that are trending are usually in the entertainment world. So you got a young impressionable mind that's being influenced by whatever they see on Instagram. So all it is my 30-inch weave or Fashion Nova fits and these expensive ass shoes, and I gotta have a nigga that has a car with a lot of money, so they're gonna pursue that. I know somebody personally that is 19 years old and she's constantly battling herself, talking about she need to be lit. I'm like, yo, you in fucking college, get your degree and figure things out. Like, you have your whole life to like figure things out. And I think because of social media, you constantly are being fed images that's like, yo, you gotta be on this sort of level. Like, if you're not on this level, then you're failing at life. So you got people at that age that they think this is what I need to be doing. So I don't know a lot of people that's even considering college as like the next phase of their life. Like, all they thinking about is how I'm gonna get this money.
I remember back in the day when people used to bartend and strip and stuff like that to pay for nursing school.
Yeah, they don't do that
Like,
anymore.
I remember that. I had a lot of girls I went to school with. They were bartend, and then I'll see them early in the morning on Saturday taking our psych exam, and they tired as hell. But they trying to pay for school. Like, I don't... Can we say it's the household, maybe? Maybe they don't have any other influences around them?
Well, when you went back to influences in society, it goes back to, having like having our own media, so to speak. So when you're watching TV or you're watching your Love and Hip Hop or you're watching basketball, that's not our media. That's media produced by other people for our people. So when we're talking about having your own media, influencing the younger generation, it's shows like this. This is you guys' media. This is black-owned media. So it's our responsibility, too, people that have the media outlets to say, hey, look, there's a contrast to that. Yes, you know what? You could be ratchet. There's times to go turn up, and there's nothing wrong with turning up, but what's the balance besides turning up?
Yeah,
what are
no
you
balance.
doing after you're turning up? So you want to strip, whatever. Get that paper, but outside of, on Tuesday when that's not, the strip club is closed down, it's not a good night or a big night, what else are you doing? So you're talking about Bernie, she's branding herself, doing clubbing events. So it's not like she's just, I don't know if she's just twerking or what. I don't see her doing anything like that. So maybe she was a former stripper, or look at Cardi B, ex-stripper, kind of branded herself to be something a little bit more than that. So I would say if you're going to use that as your hustle, then you have to use other things as well. Just don't use that, because that's a short-term thing. Like you said, once you're a certain age, there's no like MILF stripper night. So you kind of have to just, like, there's no older stripper night at the club. So there's really no niche. I don't know if you may have to go on PayPal or something like that, YouTube. And you could probably do that. I'm sure there's older women that have a niche.
I might have to start one. That might be very lucrative.
I'm not going to doubt that. People have a niche for themselves as, okay, you know what? I'm a 50-year-old stripper, 40. There has to be an audience for that. There has to be.
I'm
and
sure
and
when I
piggyback.
see it in the movies,
What?
it be them old grannies at them little like dive-in
What
bars.
movies you be watching?
It's like them little cowboy, little cowboy movies.
You watching that shit solo? I don't know.
What cowboy were you talking about? Like those
No,
Western-
we don't even need to know.
Western-
No, we don't need to know. We do not need to
But I
know.
wouldn't say those were strippers though. Are they?
So would it be burlesque dancers?
Yeah, I would say with that.
Okay.
It was
That's
a different thing.
yeah, but they're
that's
not
different.
viewed in the same light.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're not. That's like more high end and classy than in comparison to like the strippers you see at Lust or things like that.
But
They
now there's
hold
more
it,
money for strippers now. Like,
and I think
when
they
we were
get paid.
younger,
They get
strippers
paid a
didn't
whole
really-
lot differently.
Now they do, because now more dudes are the whole, it ain't tricking if you got it. That phase came, and all the rappers, spend your money in the strip club. So now dudes that are not rappers, they're still spending their,
Money.
Yeah,
post
that's
office check that they work.
But no,
at
I
the
was
strip
talking about
club.
the burlesque chicks. They get paid differently in comparison to the strippers. and
Strippers, yes.
bartenders.
But
So
now
that's
I
a
feel like
different
there's more
clientele.
money in it for the strippers. Like when we were younger, you're not really making that much money as a stripper.
It's no
so
art
most
in it,
strippers were
I
really
guess.
just going to the strip club to party, turn up. You're not really making money. You're
Mhm.
doing other things. You're going upstairs in the champagne room. Like that's how you're making your money. You're not making your money from singles. There's no money in picking up singles all night. Unless now you see bags and bags and bags. There's a lot more people at the strip club. Before it wasn't that like whole craze. Even I guess down south, I go to Florida, go to Miami, and like dudes are like, "Yo, we're going to the strip club."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Why? Like, what's the point?" They're like, "Oh, we're going," and that's the night. Everybody's
Right.
$400
there.
or $500 deep, and they're all going. So you got 4 or 5 guys, $500 each. That's $2,500. You're going to the strip club and spending all that money. So if I'm a stripper and someone told me that I could dance and talk to some guys for 2-3 hours and I made $600-700, then sign me up for that. So it's
And then,
there's money in it.
To piggyback off of what you were mentioning earlier with like the Bernices of the world, in some ways they're false prophets because they'll only show you the good things
The
in
good
there.
part.
So the nights when, like he mentioned, the nights when there isn't no money,
money's slow.
nobody talks about shit like that. They only gonna show you like, oh look how much money I made on a good night when a celebrity is there. There are plenty of nights when they ain't making no money, or when niggas is all the harassment you'll get from niggas that's trying to get more than what they're supposed to be getting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely a weird space when it comes to like the whole stripper and bartender thing in today's society.
So you said there was a stripper bartender beef.
Yeah, the strippers
What was that?
are going on strike in New York City.
Strippers are going on.
How they gonna? Do they get benefits?
I
No,
wouldn't think so.
no, they don't get no.
So what they going on strike
There
for? Like,
is
what
no
you
one.
trying to get out of
There
it?
is no 401k for being a stripper.
Are the bottle girls going on strike or the strippers?
No, the strippers are going on
Okay,
strike.
but why are they going on strike?
Because they feel as though the bottle girls are taking away too much attention and money from them. Like I
Okay.
literally seen a video where I don't know which club it was, but the way it was set up was like the bartenders are right here, the bar's right here, and then the stage for the strippers is right behind the bartender.
I know
Mhm.
what club
The
that is.
dudes are throwing money in the air. This girl, the bartender, is literally twerking her ass, turns around and with her hand grabs all the money off of the stage and drops it onto the floor.
Okay,
So that way she could say, this
That's
portion
what's
is mine
Okay, yeah, that's shit.
and the rest, you can keep that.
But I could see why now it makes sense why I would see why the strippers and bartenders would have a beef. Even besides the money thing, but just like a psychological thing.
And then from a racial standpoint as well, because
As
they're
well.
saying like the darker skinned strippers sometimes are not allowed into certain sections into the show or don't get hired at all
Okay.
because of their skin tone. Because
Yeah, but
the
Yeah.
rappers-
that goes back to what we were saying, creating our own. So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about, if you're going to a Russian-owned strip club, yeah, they may look for a certain type, but if you're going to somewhere where it's more black people, more black men, I want to see a dark-skinned girl. I'm not going to only want to see light-skinned girls. You want to see a little bit of everything.
A nice mix.
That's how black women are. They come in all different shades. But back to what I was saying about the stripper thing and the bartender, it's like for a dude, usually the girls that was the bartender would
Look
be
better.
like the girl that you would look at as like a little bit above the stripper because she's not dancing, she's not on the stage. So she's not doing what a stripper is doing. She's kind of just, the bartender. So you're like, all right, if I'm a wife of a girl in here, then it's going to be the bartender, not the stripper. So I could see why there would be some type of beef there because the strippers are like, yo, you bottle girls, you guys are just like us. Don't get it twisted. Whether you're twerking on where you're making my drink or on the stage, it's the same thing.
And they
like,
usually both kind of half naked, and they both promote
they're
themselves the same exact way.
Okay.
Well,
so,
it's,
yeah.
from my understanding, it started with starlets. Because they're the ones that started the whole Startender thing and started dressing the bartenders in the same sort of attire the strippers would dressing. And then, to be honest, a lot of these bartenders don't even have a fucking license.
They don't.
Don't have a license, can't mix a drink.
Mm-hmm.
I think even Bernice said it when she was on fucking Breakfast Club. She was
I
like,
went to the
when
strip
certain
club
dudes
and I
ask me
ordered
for
a tequila
specific
sunrise,
drink,
and they know
I
what that
can't
was.
make that shit. I'm like, so what the fuck are you there for?
Because what are you gonna ask for? Give me some Henny on the rocks. Give that's
Yeah.
what
No,
they're
I'm
thinking.
not
They're
just
like,
can
don't
I have
ask
a
for
tequila
no
sunrise?
damn.
I be asking for real drinks.
Don't ask for a Manhattan at a strip club. Just get a beer.
Why
or
can I
keep
not
it
get a
simple.
sidecar?
No,
Why can I?
We're not doing that today. They gotta make a sign.
Why can I
Beers
get a
or
Hennessy sidecar at the strip club?
a shot of alcohol and one mixed drink?
If
That's
that's
what
the
you
case,
want there.
if
I
that's
don't
Beers,
want
no,
that.
That's
don't
the
come up
case,
here with a drink menu.
excuse me while I pour my own drink. I don't need a degree or any training.
No mix, no drink
A
menu.
little bit of Henny, a little bit of apple juice.
That's
So
it. No
annoying.
mix.
Who's
no,
paying me?
No drink menus at the strip club.
So I mentioned
I'm with
earlier,
that.
before we got distracted about younger kids, do we think, what is the appropriate time, quote unquote, to have sex?
I don't think there is an appropriate time. I think it's a level of maturity. Because there's some people that are young and they do their research and they know who they're dealing with. And
How young is young?
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say like 16 would be the age that I would say would
I would
be.
Yeah,
I don't even know if that's
A
appropriate
median.
or not.
a median. It's
I
like
would
the lucky
say
number.
At 16, so because you're
16,
kind of
17.
almost done with high school, you would have
Yeah.
spoken to you. Hopefully, your parents would have spoken to you about it.
Yeah, but
So,
then I remember the kind of friends I had when I was 16, 17, and
Yeah.
I don't trust them now, let alone back then. So I don't really know what's the age appropriate because there's
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, it's all about your level of maturity and
But I would say under 16, I would, if I heard that it would, we were all
Yeah.
15, 14, I don't, no. 16 sounds reasonable, so to speak. Are girls having sex younger than that?
12.
Absolutely.
of
Yeah.
course.
Of
I
course.
remember
12,
one time
that's way
I was-
too young.
I remember one time I was with my ex. We was walking back to her place, and we saw these two young ass kids on a school day walking outside. And the way she was walking, the young girl, it looked as if she just had sex, and it looked like they didn't know what they was doing because she looked very uncomfortable.
I mean, she lost her virginity. It hurts for some people.
Yeah, but I think if that's the case, then you probably wanted to wait on it.
Yeah,
and
that-
make
that's
sure
a
you
parent
know,
thing, too,
because
a
a lot
older
of people
brother thing,
jump, a lot of
'cause-
people a lot of kids get peer pressured
Yes.
because their peers are talking about shit that they're not really doing.
I agree with that.
So then you don't want to feel like you're outcasted, so you go ahead and jump into it, and then you don't even really know what you're doing.
Yeah, because if I have a younger brother or sister or even, other people that are not family or just people that I know, at 12 years old, I'm telling them, you're not having sex. As a dude, you should not be thinking about sex. As a girl, you should not be thinking about sex. Even at 16, you don't need to be thinking about something. There's so much other things that need to be accomplished. So if we're saying sex is devalued, then we say it's devalued, but a lot of people are putting a lot of extras on it. Because if you're saying as a young age, you want to now hear about it and it's everywhere. Like, I'm going to tell them, yo, you just don't need to do that right now. Because you got other things to take care of than trying to have sex at 12 years old, or even 13 or 14. No. Like, just steal your dad's Playboy. And it's like, you don't need to do all that.
I remember a lot of my friends, a lot of my close friends that we graduated high school, we went to the same colleges and stuff like that. We lost our virginity really late. I think my last friend lost her virginity when she was 24. And they used to tease us because we were virgins. And I don't understand why people, the younger kids, make each other feel bad if they're still virgins or if they decide to wait. I know someone right now who's 26 and she says she wants to wait. She's not rushing to have sex. And people look at her as if she's weird.
Well, I wouldn't say that was weird. It's just that you usually don't see that. That's like a
taboo.
unicorn, so to speak. At 26, it's kind of like, is she like a religious? I would have to know more about your background. Like, are you a religious person? Like, what? Because even if you went out and you were a semi-attractive female, you would have interacted with a guy that you liked. At some point, you guys would have interacted. He would have tried to talk to you. He probably would have tried to take you out on a date. Like, why are you not what are you waiting for at that age? Is this a religious thing? Like, I would have to hear more, because you're not just waiting just to wait.
I can see how you would bring religion in, but I wasn't religious and I waited a long time.
No, I'm talking about 26 though. That's an
My friend
older
was 23.
age.
That's still older.
But 23, 26, even that 3 years, that's still more a different part in your life. Like 23, you probably like, all right, you know what, I don't want to just sleep with
fresh
guys
out
in
of college.
So I would get that part. You wanted to kind of stay low key during college, but now that you're out of college, you'll be in the working field. You'll be meeting a different type of man, a different type of dude.
So what if they weren't religious and they just decided to wait?
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I would just want to know, are you just waiting to meet that right guy, and then why haven't you met him yet, and then what are you waiting for not to meet him? Because clearly if you're saying you're 26, that means you're like, okay, I'm only maybe going to have sex with my husband. So then what are you waiting for to find your husband? So that's why I would have to hear more about just overall about the person to know why they would want to
why
wait.
this person hasn't met someone or why they isn't engaged, they don't have a husband. Like, let's be honest about dating right now.
What I'm saying is that if she's 26 and waiting to have sex, what is she waiting for? Is she like waiting for me to dude, or like I would say then she would want to kind of start doing that.
Yeah, but then you're making it seem like it's an easy thing. That's because you just said, why have you not met that guy yet?
I think it is easy, not easy, but it's something that. With me, my thing in life is that if there's something that I have on my list to accomplish, I'm going to do what's necessary to get it done. So if
right.
I want to get into a relationship, then I need to go out. I need to meet women. I need to make sure that I'm going on dates. I have my do's and don'ts of what I'm looking for in a woman before I even start going out there looking for that. So then I'm prepared. I know what's going on.
I feel like it's easier for a man to say that than it is for a woman to say that. You're speaking from a man's point of view.
Yes.
Right. So it's easier for you because a lot of times they feel like the man is more in control. We spoke about that earlier.
Yes.
A man is more in control. There's a lot more woman to men ratio. So a man has the more ability to pick about who he wants. He has more choices than a woman does.
That's true.
So it doesn't matter if she's religious. Mm-hmm. Has she met him or haven't met him? It's just not a lot of good pickings out there. And if it is,
you may have to move.
You may have to move. You may have to move
somewhere else. I'm sure the ratios of men in certain cities.
You said semi-attractive, so maybe she's not as attractive for the kind of man that she wants.
But so then you got to work on that. You got to work on
everything plays. It's not as I'm just saying. It's not as easy. It's not as simple as you make it seem. But you're speaking from a man's point of view.
But even for a woman, if you're saying that, okay, you don't feel like you're as attractive, then there's things you can do without getting surgery. You can do what's necessary. So
right, but no. What if her face ain't cute and she ain't got the money?
Then you gotta have body.
What?
So
what if she ain't got that either? But she got a good personality.
But that's what I'm saying. You have to have something else to bring to for dudes.
What if she has everything else but the physical? Everything physical is just
then
not,
she would have a dude then.
Not.
Then she would have a dude, because then a dude would be like, okay, this chick is cool. Her mind is right. The body's not there, but we could work on that. We could work on the body. We could make things happen with that. Your body doesn't have to be a 10. If you're saying your mind is right,
I get what you're saying. I think what you're saying is really cute.
But it's the truth.
But we're gonna be 100% honest here. You're making it seem like it's so cookie cutter, and it's not. That's not the reality
it's cookie cutter. I'm not saying it's cookie cutter. But there's a lot of people in relationships, so
and they don't mean it's a good relationship either. Motherfuckers settle every damn day.
That's true.
So we
they
all
still fucking though.
You can fuck whoever you want to fuck.
Yeah,
you can fuck
a
fucking goat.
For
you can fuck exactly. So that's not a valid point right there.
Well,
I get what you're saying.
Yes.
I totally get it. But for other people listening, you're making it sound really easy, and it's not. It's easy to an extent, but at the same time, it's not.
So wait, has she said why she hasn't? She's waiting.
Like, can we hear from her?
Yeah, she said.
Not hear from her, but so she's waiting because she's just waiting to find that guy.
Yes.
Okay, so what is she? Why is she not meeting that guy?
She is dating because when you're 26 years old and you're a woman and you're attractive to most men, they see that, they hear your version, you wait, and they like, nah, I ain't got time.
But that's that dude though, because if
I'm
looking for a girlfriend,
that's what's happening in her. That's what
I'm trying to hang out.
Let me finish.
Okay, I'll let you finish.
All right. So sometimes that happens. Other times when you're a woman, you have a lot going for yourself. You attract men who might not have as much as you.
Okay.
So sometimes that's the issue too.
But that's a dude thing though. I'm not. If you're a girl doing your thing as a dude,
So
why would
basically,
you not want that?
she's waiting
you're
for-
a bum. So
Some
you
men
know
don't
what?
want
So for
that,
my
though.
single
Some men
guys
feel
out there
inferior.
listening,
Some men feel
don't-
really inferior to a
don't be
woman.
inferior for that. Because again, you and your lady, you guys can get business popping. Don't worry about that.
I say that
Let
all the
those
time.
other dudes worry about that. There'll be more women for you. My single dudes out there, do not get caught up in that.
But
If
don't
a girl
let-
has
don't-
a good
but-
job, she's making money. That should be on your radar. That should be a woman that you would want to interact
But
with.
don't influence the bums out there, though.
But I'm not. Because
All right.
a woman,
Bums
you
don't
should be
got-
able to see
'Cause
he's
then-
a
The
bum.
bums don't got their iPhone on to listen to the show anyway. So
Right.
that's that.
Nah, but Boost and all that, you get an iPhone on Boost and all that. So
That's
it
a
depends on the
fact.
situation.
Boost is still in
But-
business?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Jesus.
But for
Yeah.
the women, you have to
Kill
kind of
yourself.
have your radar to a certain degree. So it's you got to know what's out there. You got to know every.
So she's
dude
basically just waiting for everything ideally to line up.
yes, maybe her,
'Cause
her standards too high.
I don't think her standards are
No,
too
I
high.
wouldn't
I don't.
consider her
I don't.
standards high.
Okay.
I don't.
She
think
just
that
has
at
this
all.
level of standard for herself, and
Which
she's
is
just
good.
not going to accept anything less
Right.
of that.
And
Because
Nothing
then
wrong
when you
with
start
that.
accepting it,
then
it's
it
kind of.
goes lower.
And I
and
actually
lower.
read an article way off topic. I read an article that a lot of educated women are dating below themselves.
Okay.
I don't
But,
necessarily.
but when you're saying educated, when
that's
you say
what the,
below
that's,
yours,
that's what the article said.
yeah, but was the
Well,
article
that-
referencing
that's
below
kinda
yourself
misleading,
because he
though.
doesn't have the degree you have? Like,
That-
oh,
you
she
don't-
has
you're
a
not-
master's,
you're
but
not-
he just has a high school graduate. What's below you?
we
Like income-wise, they were saying?
income-wise,
Okay.
I guess the amount of effort they
Effort.
probably
by
they,
effort?
they probably put into it. You have somebody, they're not progressing in life. That's what I should say. They're not
Okay.
just progressing in life. And a lot of times
But I think
because
women
a
are
lot
wired
of,
differently when it comes to that.
but then a lot of times when you have these women who have these good jobs,
Mhm.
whether they're entrepreneurs, businesswomen, or they work in corporate, or whatever the case may be, they feel like they can't get the kind of man they want that's on their level because those men aren't necessarily attracted to them, especially if they're black.
Mm-hmm. But you're talking about the corporate thing. That's completely different. 'Cause
Yeah.
corporate
So
speaking,
then
there's
you
not
find
a lot
somebody
of black
else.
men in
Right,
corporate America.
Right. So then you meet someone who you really, really like, but then it's like, not that you have to go lower than what you're used to, but now you kind of feel like you have to take care of somebody else, or you're stroking someone's ego. Because I've seen that a lot of times too. You have a woman who's doing very well for herself, and she might genuinely like a man for who he is, but he feels inferior.
But then that's a
And
conversation.
then it's like, what
Yeah,
can
that's
you
a-
do
that's-
to make
that's a-
him feel
you just
better
gotta
about
talk
There's
to
the
them.
nothing. There's
situation?
nothing she could
Yeah.
do to make him feel better. He's
Yeah,
he was
that's on him.
he's
That's it.
insecure.
That's it.
Period.
Because
Whether
no
she
way
was
that
below
you're gonna
or-
tell
Girl,
me
you
that.
finna be a virgin till you're 30, child.
You're not. You're not. Go to the right
She gonna be
circles.
alright.
Hit
She gonna
me
be
up.
alright.
I have single friends that are single, working, making money. So
I believe him. I
they're
believe
not,
him.
looking for women
You
to
only know him for a week.
to
But I
buy
believe
food
him.
from.
You know what?
No,
It's
we
our-
met- we-
It's
no, I-
our circle of
I
friends,
met her
though.
before.
It's
Yeah,
our
I met
circle
her
of
before.
friends.
I met her before.
This is just a joke.
But we have,
So-
wait. I would say it's a week.
It's only been a week.
We
How
have the
much
same.
confidence do you
We have
really
the
have?
we have the same circle of
We
friends.
do have a same
So
a
then
social circle.
the way
my
our
cousins.
circle rock, then
And they're all
I
professional,
know how to-
Nah,
classy
she
women.
she good. She
All
gonna
my
be alright.
cousins are, so that's
There's
good.
nothing wrong with
Yeah, I think she'll be fine. But
Yeah,
where's she
no.
going though? What circles is she going?
now
to?
she's going to church.
Okay, well she's going to the wrong spot. There's not
yeah,
a lot of Jews in
church. Yeah, church
There's
ain't
not
gonna
a
help
lot of
us.
single.
You
if
just
she's
gotta- I
wait,
feel
if
like
she's
at
looking
this
for a black
point-
guy, what is she looking for? Then
Yeah.
she's going to church. There's not a lot of single younger black men going to church.
Jesus
You
is
just
single.
don't. They're just not there.
You said Jesus is single, Vixon?
He's always single.
Stop.
Jesus
know
is
what?
Single. Hilarious.
Mad fucking annoying.
So I don't know. The church you can go, but
Yeah, church is a
you
dub.
know, I would
Pastor's
say
already
that,
touching on little boys. What you think
I would-
churchgoers is doing?
I would say that
No.
you gotta kind of go.
Oh,
I do not support nothing Steven just said.
So
Harvey
I'm not gonna say
Weinstein.
he's not wrong. He's not
Kevin
wrong,
Spacey.
but, you know.
church. How many times
Kevin Spacey too. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the news this past
Nobody
week.
knew that. This is not new.
Was the
allegations,
white
new
comedian
revelations.
Louis
They knew
C.K.
about this.
too? He just
Yeah.
admitted to it
Louis
too.
CK.
See, that I didn't
But
know.
this was always out. It
But
was
we've
just-
always talked shit about the
not
church
talking
and how
about it.
people that go to church is mad phony anyway. So
That's a
church
fact.
is not
I
the
have my
ideal
own
place.
beliefs on
She just needs to
church.
just go to different places. Don't stick to just the church. Don't stick to just the bar. You know, I would tell my advice to her would be, you know, do a little online dating. Go out. Go to different art scenes. You know, go to different high class bars. If she's talking
I
about meeting
told her
different
that.
dudes, maybe go to the W's. bar or somewhere where, you know, there's a little bit more money around. The drinks are a little bit more, you know, going to 25-cent beer night, you're not going to meet the same type of dude as if you're going to...
If you drink beer, I judge you.
The bars and the... Well, I drink beer, so that's a different conversation. Yeah, I would say she just needs to go to different places, not just be stuck going to church or just be stuck online. She should kind of do a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
so with that being said, do we think sex complicates things? Because she's not having sex in her love life.
It would not complicate things for her getting a dude. It would not. No.
Okay.
It would not. Absolutely not.
So right
if she's
now,
looking
she's
for the
just
right
in
type
right.
of guy. No, because I wouldn't have to smash that night or those month or two, but I would at least want to smash before it was my girl. So I guess we would kind of have to negotiate that.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Because I would say, okay, you know what? I
Okay.
like you, and I think we should be in a relationship, and I like you. So, you know, what are we doing with this? Are we taking things to the next level? Are we not taking things to the next level? Like, you're gonna have to give
Because
it up,
like
so
I said earlier, like sex is that one form of expression that you can't duplicate. We could cuddle all you want, we could kiss each other and make out all we want, but once you take it to that next level,
if it don't mesh well, it just don't mesh.
But like what he was saying, we could cuddle, kiss. If we're
Yeah,
doing that
it's
stuff,
like-
it's getting hot and steamy.
yeah,
As a woman too, you're gonna want to do something as much as
You
the
gotta
man. So
take
that
it to
means
the
if
next
you're
level.
not doing it, I need to know why. Like why? Tell me why. Oh, it needs to be in a relationship. Okay, we can be in a relationship. So it would need to be more. If you're telling
And
me
then
marriage, then you have to let guys know that right away. So I would say for the women out there, if you're telling guys you want to wait till marriage, that's a conversation you got to get out the way early. Because for guys, you know what? I may not want to wait till marriage. So, and you may not want you want to wait till marriage. I don't. Let me know that so you can keep it moving and I can keep it moving.
Aww.
If I didn't believe in that, so
Right.
that's why I
That
would
just
say
kinda made me sad
you
when
kind
you
of
said
have to
that.
just let your intentions be known. That's what I would say. Let your intentions be known, all the single people out there. If you want a relationship, let the guys know I'm looking for a relationship. If you just want a one night stand, you know, this whatever it is, but your intention should be clear, and then there's no confusion.
men gotta make that clear as well.
That's
a lot
true.
of times,
a lot of
they
dudes
just-
will
they'll
act
just
like they want a
smash,
girl. Yep,
and
that's true.
they not even
That's
about
true.
that
Dudes
life.
gotta chill with that too. I'm with that. We gotta chill with that. We gotta go back to player shit. Being
It's all about
upfront, not lying about shit. Just being upfront about what you're doing. Because if you tell a girl that you just want to sleep with her, you'll meet women that just want to sleep with her. You don't have to lie and add extras on it and, you know, have flowers as soon as you meet her. You don't need to do all that. Because there's certain women that will, you know, respect what you're saying and they'll rock with you.
So, y'all totally threw me over on that whole rant right there. Will we say that casual encounters are more beneficial or detrimental?
It depends.
It's
I would
beneficial
say
as long as there's
beneficial.
communication
I would
involved.
say beneficial.
Because I think a lot of times it's more detrimental because people don't communicate about what they really want.
Yes.
A lot of times a female will have casual sex with a dude knowing she may have stronger feelings than him than what he really has for her.
Right.
And then shit happens and then you just get resentful of him or you start to even hate yourself because you gave up your body to somebody that didn't really cherish it. And then a lot of dudes, they, like I said, they just smashing for the sake of smashing, knowing they have no interest of dating this chick at any facet. And then it just ruins shit. And this is why niggas be having a bad name. Like, I know plenty of females that are just completely, I won't say turned off to that extent, but they don't even want to think about dating men because of casual sex, because niggas is out here lying.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that women also set themselves up too.
Yes. But
Well, of
casual
course.
sex, I would say, is a good thing, so to speak.
I was gonna.
Because you have to get certain things out your system. Like for your friend, she may be waiting. So let's say she waits till she's 30. She meets a dude, she has sex. Now for her, she may be like, damn, this is something that I really like to do. So now that's may put a strain on your relationship. So I feel like there's certain things you just, like, guys need to go through that stage, or women need to go through that stage where they're getting attention and meeting people. So when you meet your significant other, you're not really worrying about that. If you go out somewhere with your boys and you guys are meeting women, you're not really tripping on that because you've gotten that attention before. You've got that energy before. You haven't experienced that. You're like, oh, damn. Oh, shit. All right. This is what happens when I go out. So then you may cheat, or you may do your significant other dirty because you were never put in those type of situations before.
To know
It's
how to
kinda
handle it.
And
Yeah.
it's good
It's
because
like the kids when they first go to college, you know. they were sheltered, and then that girl that's not. I know a girl in high school that was sheltered. The whole couldn't go outside, couldn't do something. The minute she went to college, not even a month later, true story, she was pregnant. Not even a month later of being on campus, she was pregnant because it's a different atmosphere. You're
Life
not
comes
used to
at
those
you
things.
fast.
And that's what happens. Just life experiences.
Yeah, and it's a form of self-education as well. Like you gotta learn what you like, what you dislike, because a lot of people don't have casual sex because I don't give up my body to anybody or this, that, and the third. And then when they're in a relationship, they don't really know how to be open sexually with their partner because they were so reserved or they only know these certain things. You may have sex with one person that puts you onto something completely new and different that you may thoroughly enjoy, and then once you move on from that situation, you go into a new situation and bring that into your relationship. And that may be something you put onto your other partner, and they enjoy that as well. So casual sex, as long as you do it responsibly, it could be very beneficial.
Keyword, responsibly.
Yes.
Right, wrap it up, guys. Wear that condom. Don't roll dog.
I am not going to your baby shower.
This is a yes or no question. Yes or no. Is sex an obligation in a relationship?
Obligation?
Is it an obligation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you think that it can be used wrong in a relationship?
Yes.
Absolutely yes. Yes, times 10.
In unison. I love that. In unison.
With that personally. I was dating a chick one time. We agreed this is how it was supposed to go. I was gonna come over. We was both off that day. She said she wanted to cook for me. I was supposed to come over. She was gonna cook. We just relax, chill. Come over. Hour, 2, 3 hours passed by. She ain't touch a pot yet. I ain't say nothing because this is. I ain't say nothing. I ain't say nothing.
Wait, so when you got there was no food cooking?
No.
And she said she was cooking dinner?
Yes.
So you're like, so when you got there and there was no pot, you're like, all right, so it's about to go down in
I don't
here.
think we never discussed like what she was gonna cook or whatever. So maybe
was she waiting for you to help her? Like, why is the food not done? So I'm saying that's why when you got there, if I went there, I'd be like, all right.
No, I just assume I assume she was
I
waiting.
probably would have took my shirt off by then.
I would assume like she was waiting for me. I assume she was waiting for me to figure out what is it exactly she wanted to cook. What I wanted to cook. So time go by, she didn't do nothing. Damn. Then she's like, oh, I don't feel like cooking anymore. Can you go to some Jamaican spot to pick up food?
Wow.
So I'm already tight.
Yeah,
that just turned
I'm
into
tight.
I know what that was then.
So I'm tight. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I go anyway because I'm a nice guy. Come back.
I don't think I would have went. I wouldn't have went. I would have said I'll go, but then you have to pay for this then. Because I don't think she planned on cooking. She was just waiting for you to get there and then be like, okay, let's hang out, and then I'm going to just send him to go get food. Because then if you wanted me to bring food, I would have brought the shit when I came to. Just tell me, on your way to my house, stop here and get some food. But you told me you were cooking. So when I get there and you're not cooking, I'm like, all right, so either she just wants to hang out and not cook, or what's going on? Right. I feel like on you should have said something earlier.
She's trash anyway. That's trash.
I know that. I'm just saying for future references.
I'm good in that book.
Saying,
Noted.
Yo, what's going on with this? I don't know, but I don't know how old this story is. This could be a long time ago.
Man,
that's what I'm saying.
I was probably like 21, 22.
Oh, all right. So then, I don't know how old you are now, but I could say that
was like 9 years ago.
Oh, so you learned from this experience. Yeah. So now that wouldn't happen to you. You would be like, yo, what's
so I get back with the food. So she's like, so you want to do it? And I'm like, so you're just throwing this out there as like a barter system.
And when I brought the food, and then I want to eat the food now.
And then it was even like you try to make it like sensual and sexy with it. It was like, so you want to do it? Like, you didn't even do anything, touch crazy, me or set it up. It was like, yo, this shit is just a task.
What the fuck? I just got there. We got to eat the food now. Come on, I can't reheat the jerk chicken and all. I got to eat that now. You got to eat that when the shit is hot. So, I'm going to say that, that's, I'm giving a thumbs down to that. If I see her, I'm going to walk right past her. If I see her, I won't say hi to her, nothing, because that was crazy.
I don't think she ever wants to see me ever in life, because I'll probably curse her ass out.
That's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous.
You made me get the food, and you want to have sex.
But you were in there for like 2 hours already.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hungry.
Well, I wasn't hungry, because we never initially planned on hanging out, so I already had my day set. Like, I'm chilling. So when he was like, oh, I'm going to cook.
I got a sandwich.
Okay.
I'm straight.
Sign me up.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
Damn.
But yeah, it definitely in that aspect, sex can be just. I think there's a lot of females that don't view sex in that high regard like most people do. Like they just feel as though like I know females that they want to be just that trophy wife. Like I just want to be visually appealing when you're around your friends. When the money you make, you're buying shit for me. Sex, I could live without it. It's not really something I want to do.
But is she really living without it? So I don't know.
What do you mean?
That needs to be investigated.
She'll do
Because
like
she
literally
may have a
not having
she may
sex?
have a dude on the side. Because when you talk about you're a trophy wife, you got you can do whatever you want. So at some point, sex is gonna come up, and if she ain't having sex with the husband, then who is she having sex with?
She'll have sex.
The pool boy.
She'll have sex with the husband, but it's not something. It's not something
That's
that
a
she
regular.
could.
Yeah, because
It's not something
it's
she's
just a treat.
pursuing.
Yeah, it's a
It's
treat.
more like he'll roll over in the bed and he'll do what he got to do.
Yeah,
but
I'm
it's
gonna
not
say she
something.
has a side dude. Then I'm gonna say there's a side dude somewhere in there. There has to be. There's a
Possibly.
side dude somewhere there.
Possibly, but I do know females they don't care for sex
Mhm.
at all.
They asexual?
I don't say they would admit that, but
I guess so.
So,
I would never divulge into it, but I know somebody that was dating somebody at the time. Eventually, she broke up with him, and it reached a point where she was like, "Yo, we'll have sex," and I'm not really into it.
because she wasn't enjoying herself. That's what that was. Not
And
that she
then
wasn't
we
into
had
it.
conversations in general, and she's like, "You know what? I could deal with not having sex at all."
Again, it sounds like she just hasn't met that person and
That
they
she
clicked
hasn't
with
had
the
that
chemistry,
connection.
and they didn't have that connection sexually. That's what that sounds like. So
So will we say that lack of sex education these days has a bigger effect on everyone, even adults? I know people who are in their 30s and late 30s who still have no fucking idea.
Because
What's
people educate
going
themselves on
on?
porn, which is somewhat beneficial, but it's not
Not
realistic
realistic.
at the same time.
Do you think that having sex education classes in schools would be a lot better? You think it'd make a difference? Like,
it would, but I would have to
In
see
terms
the
of
curriculum before
safe
before I
sex,
sign
yes.
off on it. I would have to
Okay.
see what they're talking about in the school, because I know
Okay.
a lot of times in school there's a lot of fuckery what they're teaching. So I would have to let me look at the damn syllabus, and I'm gonna see if it's cool for my kids. If
It's
not, I'm
hard
like,
because
nah,
the
y'all not doing
school sex ed is basically safe sex and STDs and things of that nature. They're not going to demonstrate to you how do you actually have sex
No,
with
but they
someone.
showed you how to like put on a condom and shit.
Yeah, that's the
Stuff
most.
stuff like that. Yeah,
But
sex
it's
ed.
way deeper than
But they
that.
only teach abstinence. That's the problem too. They don't teach a lot of times sex education just not
Teach-
having sex. But
right,
it's
they
like,
do
no,
that.
but people are gonna have sex, so teaching that protection and how to put on a condom, I think that would be a good part of sex education.
Yeah, that's
But
necessary.
the age has to be age appropriate.
all right then. So before we wrap this up, Kareem, tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Give them your
About
myself.
myself.
Yeah, a little
You guys
rundown.
know.
Who you are, where you from,
You've known him
what
for
you
a
do.
week.
You
You
know
should
me
be
for a
spilling
week.
all
You
the
should know
beans.
everything.
Do we not do this to every guest on the show?
I was just poking for relax. I was just-
Takes things way too serious. He was clearly joking.
Go ahead.
So yeah, guys, my name's Kareem. I'm from Long Island. In a relationship, got a fiance. We've been engaged for a little over a year. Getting married next year. So the
That's what's
relationship thing, kind of been in a relationship for 6 years now. So before I was in a relationship, I was doing the online dating thing and going out, going to different bars. So before I got into a relationship, I was kind of just meeting different women and just kind of having my hookups, so to speak. And then I was like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. So now the type of woman that I look for is going to be different. So I had to kind of switch up my game a little, kind of do things a little bit differently to stay on the whole sex topic. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
So we have a listener letter. We could probably do that really quickly.
Yes. This is also. I think the STS guys have sent us more than one listener letter. So shout out to them. We've all seen the Full House reboot, Fuller House, on Netflix. I actually refuse to watch it.
No,
I'm not-
I'm a loser. I watched it.
Really? I never-
Well, I'm glad you know.
question. I didn't watch the first version, so the second
Oh,
one
okay.
really wouldn't.
You're
make
just
a
not-
difference.
yeah, okay.
If they brought back Family Matters, would you watch it, and what do you think the plot would be?
Would I watch it? I would. I say the plot would have to be like Stefan and Laura being together.
I
Like,
forgot how it ended.
It
can't
ended
be
with them
Urkel.
getting married.
Yeah, it couldn't be Steve Urkel anymore. A little too old. Like, you can't have gray hair
Yeah.
Steve Urkel kind of doing the whole. That just would be weird.
No way. Is it? I actually thought the father, Carl Winslow, had passed away. So when I saw him in the picture, I was like, "Oh, I thought he died."
No, he didn't die. Damn, I like Carl.
Only
Way off.
person I think passed was Grandma Winslow.
And Myra.
And then, yeah, when Myra
And Myra.
passed.
Oh yeah,
Myra passed
Myra.
away.
Myra.
Yeah,
So
I
bad.
forgot about Myra. Yeah,
Mhm.
I seen those pictures though. Laura's not looking too good. I didn't like how Laura was looking.
She's pushing 50 now, I believe.
Yeah, I wasn't
I believe
feeling
so.
Laura though.
Oh.
I
Is she?
wasn't feeling it.
Maybe,
Laura
maybe
wasn't-
she's early 40s. I'm gonna say early.
I'm not even gonna say for age though. Laura was looking kind of
Shaky.
I wasn't feeling Laura. Wasn't feeling Laura.
That's okay.
She needs some cocoa butter.
And on that note,
See, I'm not gonna say that, but you know.
and on that note, guys,
We want to thank Kareem for coming through.
Thank you guys for having me. Love the vibe, love the energy in here. So I like what you guys are doing.
Thank
Good
you.
show,
We
man.
appreciate
Good
it.
stuff.
We try.
and I look forward to having you here again.
Yes, whenever you guys want me back, I'll be back. Let's change the subject next time. Let's not do a sex part 1, 2, 3, 4.
You didn't know what you wanted to talk about,
So
so I was like, we finna wing it. Whatever we got, we finna give you.
nah, it was cool. It was a good topic, good information. So
Good. And on that note, everyone, I am Nieema Simone.
I'm Steven.
This has been Sophisticated Ignorance, and bye.